Capitalism. What is capitalism? Capitalism is an economic system where industries and institutions are privately owned and are set up for profit making, created by politicians and governments. It is basically a system that was designed for the interests of the people in power and not the citizens of the country and the state. You see, we are living in capitalism today, or should I call it crony capitalism, where we pretty much have to pay to survive. We're working for survival. We pretty much have to pay to stay alive and exist on God's green earth, on this big rock. And we gotta pay in order to get the natural resources that this planet has for us. We gotta pay and get through them in order to get the natural resources. See, you might think that the people in power, the governments and the politicians and the ministers and the bankers or whoever, you might think that they own these natural resources. The truth is they don't. They don't own any of these resources. The earth, the planet, and Mother Nature, they own all the natural resources. All the natural resources were created by Mother Nature, Gaia, and Earth. You see, a long time ago, we bargained. We worked for the community of the people to help people out and give value to others. You see, a long time ago, we grew our own food and we made a good living, and we drank water and bargained for the stuff that we needed / wanted. Like, we would basically trade stuff away in order to get something. Like, whatever we had before money was created, before capitalism was born, we pretty much bargained. We would trade stuff in order to get something else. Like, most people would trade a sack of potatoes for a sack of onions, or a jar of peaches for a jar of grapes or olives. That was bargain. That was a long, long time ago. Then money was created, and then someone came up with an economic system called capitalism, where they brainwash and force people to pay for the natural resources that this planet has for us. They are enslaving and brainwashing people into believing that they own the resources, when in reality they just capitalized off the natural resources and pretty much lied to everybody, saying that they own the resources. In order to get these resources, they got to go through them to get the resources and make a living. You see, capitalism is an economic system where we have the educational system, the wage labor system, or should I say the 9-to-5 job structure. Pretty much everything that we have to do in order to make a living on this planet is to work at these big businesses and corporations and institutions in order to make a substantial living, in order to survive, in order to live, and to get these natural resources to stay alive and healthy. They capitalize off the natural resources and are making us pay in order to make a substantial living, when in reality we were born to enjoy the natural resources and live in peace and harmony. But the majority of people are working paycheck to paycheck. Most people are working a 9-to-5 job in order to make a substantial living. But they gave us and sold us the illusion that capitalism is a system and a benefit for the society of the people living on this planet. But the truth is, capitalism was built on the interests of the people in power, not in the citizens of this economic state. It was a system that was set up to benefit the people that are in power and who have authority. The system is the benefit for them. It is the benefit for the people in power and not for the citizens that live in this state. All the buildings, all the institutions, and all the corporations are all privately owned by big CEOs, governments, and politicians and banksters. They created an economic system where they reap all the benefits of the hard work of people working 24/7. Someone is working. Someone is always working, whether it's the graveyard shift, whether it's the daytime, whether it's at night. Someone is working 24/7, all hours of the day. The graveyard shift, you name it. They basically brainwash or should I say indoctrinate? Yeah, well, I'll say that. Indoctrinate kids at a young age to believe that hard work equals success. I mean, that's true to some extent. Whatever you're trying to build, you gotta put the hard work hustle into it. But they pretty much indoctrinated us into believing that we have to work extremely hard in order to become rich and successful and to make a honest living in this country. You're being a productive member of society by working at these multi corporations and institutions. You work really hard for us. I promise you'll be at the top of our ladder and you'll be rich just like us. Like, when has anybody ever got rich from a 9 to 5? Trust me, nobody has ever gotten rich from a 9 to 5. They basically set up a system where they reap all the benefits while everybody else does all the hard work. They reap all the benefits and the profits of that hard work. They capitalize of it while they watch everybody else stressing themselves out, making an honest living. Stressing themselves out, working extremely hard, agonizing hours, tired, stressed out, angry, miserable, and just depleted of their energy, while they sit in the office watching all those people work extremely hard while they make profit off that hard work. And it's like, yippee! They say this, I earned all of this. Really? You gonna tell that lie? You didn't earn nothing. You pretty much indoctrinated and tricked everybody into doing all that hard work for you, and you reaped and capitalized off the benefits. You reaped the benefits of their hard work. That's pretty much what you did. You capitalized off the natural resources, indoctrinated people into believing that if they work extremely hard at these institutions, that they'll be at the ladder, that they'll be at the top, they'll be rich, they'll be just as powerful as you are, or the rich people, when in reality, you're just enslaving the whole entire population. And they believe that they're getting to the top. They believe that this is what life is all about. You pretty much capitalize off the natural resources, indoctrinated and trick people into working hard, agonizing hours, and you reap the benefits of that hard work while everybody else is stressed out you reap off the benefits of that hard work. It's where the rich get richer and the poor stay poorer. Now, those that are awake and know what's going on knows that capitalism is a failing system. You know, the educational system is an epic fail. It's been an epic fail from the start. Okay, maybe back then in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, it worked back then, but it just doesn't work anymore. And so parents and a bunch of teachers indoctrinate us into believing that if we go to college and be successful, we'll get a high-paying job and become rich and successful just like them. But in reality, that's not the case. The truth is, you go to college, you spend there for 4 or 6 years, whatever you're majoring in, and by the time you get out, you're debt with student loans, you're burdened with student loans, and you got to work at unfulfilled jobs that people, you got to work at unfulfilled jobs that you don't even like in order to pay off that debt. Like, the average jobs, the shittiest jobs in America are McDonald's, Burger King, Starbucks, Walmart. I mean, let's face it, those aren't the best jobs to be working at. And they're pretty low-paying jobs. They're not very good jobs. I mean, yeah, you make money off of it, but how is anybody going to make a living getting paid $7.25 an hour? $7.25 an hour or $8.25 an hour. You can't make a living off that nowadays because rent is going up, gas prices are going up. What else is going up? Food is going up. Everything is going up. The capitalistic, crony capitalism has gotten worse over the years. Like, I remember 10 years ago in 2008, the Great Depression happened. The economy was really bad. A lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of people are becoming unemployed. You know, it was hard. A lot of people aren't able to afford their homes. The rise of homeless people. They pretty much capitalize off the natural resources, lying to everybody, saying that they own the resources, when in reality they don't. They say that they own this land, when in reality is, you don't own anything. You don't own this land. You don't own the earth. Last time I checked, Earth was created way before you. You're borrowing the resources that this earth provides for you. How are you going to take it? How are you going to say that you own the earth and when you die, I don't get it. This whole economic capitalistic system was created by brute force, slavery, and egotism. Crony capitalism doesn't work, and eventually it will go down. Like in the next couple of years, like say during 2020, the capitalistic system that we're living in will eventually fail. And it's gonna destroy itself. It's already destroyed itself. People in power is set up for their interests, not in the interests of